Hello, I'm the Laughing Fool. No, the first Laughing Fool. And I had decided to get into the whole wide world of reviewing One Piece manga chapters. And really original, right? But I decided to do it, and here I go. So the latest chapter, Vinsmoke Sanji, chapter 844. And wow, this was a chapter. I mean, well, first, oh man, I didn't know where to start with this. I mean, last chapter we were getting on that real big high here of defeating Cracker and all that. I mean, and he really beat the crap out of him too. I mean, that was not a that was a one shot, and that really got him. So he's when Luffy said he was going to send him to the ends of the New World, he was only slightly kidding on that one, because Cracker was thrown across the seducing woods and right into Mom's castle, right in front of her too. So he's just he's through the wall and just right at her feet. So that's a message right there. That's Luffy throwing down the gauntlet. And that was so satisfying, especially given how much hard time that Cracker was giving Luffy all this time. An 11-hour fight, that is amazing. But man, we got some lows in this one. We got some real emotional lows. Not lows in the sense that they were a really bad part of it or something, just this chapter hurt me emotionally. And oh man. I mean, so after defeating Cracker, they pontificate a bit about the whole nature of how Big Mom is going to not take this lightly. I mean, no shit, right? But don't tell Luffy, he's kind of slow. And I mean, yeah, so Big Mom apparently not only has the ability to control the souls of people, but can apparently control the souls of the weather itself. Either that, or she has placed the soul in the weather system around Cake Island, which wouldn't surprise me, actually, come to think of it. But I'm calling that right now. It's okay. So that's my theory right there, that Charlotte Linland has actually put a soul into the sky and now can control the weather with her right and left hand. Or something. I don't know. Maybe Pound was kind of exaggerating on that one. But there apparently is a rule that her children are allowed to carry Viri cards because, yeah, Nami has total control of the homies at this point because of that Viri card. She can, she gets the giant Triju monster. I forget his name, King Brahm or something. And he's now carting them off to the main chateau of Cake Island. And while they get there, we get some little scenes from Chopper and Carrot. And Carrot is so cute. But they get some scenes where they're still in the mirror, but they're apparently running from something. I'm guessing that the Brule is still chasing them. Wow, they are. I don't know how they're gonna get out of that one, but they're still being chased, and they're somehow looking for Sanji. But lo and behold, Luffy and Nami find him anyway, just being carried by carriage off to the wedding, off to the receiving of gifts, I guess, actually more. Man, there's so much to go here still. But, and this is where the lows start to kick in, because Luffy sees Sanji and immediately it's all happy and smiles and all that, and hey Sanji, I came to pick you up. And he just, goes full blast and actually gets right up to his carriage, right in his face. And just a quick side note, it's good to know that Niji and Yanji are both equally perverts, because they see Nami and immediately just hard eyes, just, that was actually kind of a little funny. So, but no, Sanji he's taking a threat against Zeph pretty seriously at this point. I mean, it's Luffy is talking all this while he's first off giving away tactical information too. What do you expect from Luffy? And it's Zoro's in the Wano Kingdom doing all this stuff. I'm well, gee, thanks for telling us that, Luffy. But Yeah, so Luffy is all excited, and Sanji's just thinking, oh, if I go with them, I'm going to lose my hands, I'm going to lose my mentor. All this bad shit's going to happen. So he kicks Luffy in the face and starts ranting about how he's a Vinsmoke. He's royalty, and Luffy and Nami are lowly peasants, not worth the time of his day. And obviously he's lying here, but this is just painful. Not the least of which because his family is just eating this up. And they're just like, haha, look at him suffer. Look at him like, finally realize the truth that even though we kind of like, hate Sanji, he's still one of us. And so now, God, I kind of hate this. This is like, Sanji is now being forced to fight Luffy. And that's where the chapter ends. But that is just like, I mean, when we were fighting Doflamingo, I was actually pretty surprised how much I hated him. Because it's like, Oda has this weird talent of making you hate the villains more and more with each successive arc. Like, every time you meet a villain, it's like, this guy is the worst of the worst. This is the guy who no one can top this guy, because this is just as evil as you get. And then the next arc, he does even better. I mean, and I'm pretty sure he's going to do worse in, like, Wano, because Kaido's kind of crazy. But, I mean, let me put it this way. There are things you can like about Doflamingo. I wouldn't recommend it, but I can see, because he has a cool power, he has a lot of, he has a lot of respect for his executive family. He does kind of have a solid philosophy about him, and that just everyone around him is just less than him, which is, I guess, but again, he's like, he does have points that you can like as a villain. It's the Vinsmokes. If you like something about the Vinsmokes, Oda hates you, and so do I, because they are just irredeemable at this point. I mean, maybe we'll see something later on, but right now they are like, oh man, Oda is going out of his way to make you hate these people. So, I mean, besides the Nazi references and the fact that they're, aristocratic bitches and stuff like that, this is just like unbelievable. And, oh man. And thankfully there's no break next week, so that's a good thing. But, oh man, I mean, this is painful for two reasons. One, I really doubt Sanji, even with his intimate knowledge of Luffy's abilities, can beat Luffy at this point. And secondly, because just the idea, because remember back when like Usopp was fighting Luffy just because they were arguing over the Going Merry, and how painful that was. This is going to be even worse. Because in that case, Usopp had a legitimate reason to be angry at Luffy and want to challenge him for the position of captain. He had a legitimate reason to be angry at him. Sanji doesn't. And he's just being, literally, his arm is being twisted to force him to fight Luffy and call him all these terrible things and say all these horrible things. And even worse, because Cracker called this too. He's like saying, if you read like Sanji, he'd just say all these terrible things to you. And now that's coming to pass, and that's gonna suck. But, oh man, this next chapter. On the one hand, it's going to be pretty awesome to see Sanji fight Luffy, because it's going to be like, a kind of culmination of everything. Like, we're going to finally see what their powers look like, side by side. I mean, Luffy has, all this strength, but Sanji can fly, so it could be anyone's game, actually. I mean, and of course, Sanji's a lot smarter than Luffy, and he has a lot more abilities than him in terms of, like, varied abilities. Like, he has the Diablo Jambe, he has the Airwalk. Oh man, this is going to be so painful. And you can just tell that this is going to be played up like, the whole big, like the Usopp fight. Whereas, like, I really don't want to do this. Don't make me do this. And this is, So that's next week, and I'll see if I can record one there. This is, oh man, I'm not looking forward to this actually now I think about it. But, we gotta see what happens. Thanks. Bye.